What's good? It's your boy K Flex, and I'm back here with another video. And guys, there's been a couple times in life when I felt like the Dolphins were at rock bottom. Okay, one of them was obviously when we went 1-15. Another one was when we had Jay Cutler as quarterback. And this is one of them right here. Now I get the plan that the Dolphins have, and I'm not, you know what I'm saying, I'm not opposed to it. I get the whole rebuild process, but guys, Teddy Bridgewater just chose to back up for the New Orleans Saints rather than start quarterback for his hometown Dolphins. I don't think it gets worse than this, y'all. I don't think it gets worse than this. So the guys that don't know, I'm explaining the Teddy Bridgewater situation. Basically, yesterday, we called in a meeting with Teddy Bridgewater because we tried to sign him, hurry up and sign him, because we don't have a quarterback right now. Well, we have what technically his name is Ryan Tannehill, but it's clear like that he's gonna be gone. Well, supposed to be. At this point, I don't know what the is going on, but he's supposed to be gone. Okay. Now there was rumors we was gonna get Tyrod, and then Tyrod went and signed with the Chargers. So now that left us in a pickle to where it's like, oh my God, we have to get Teddy Bridgewater or we're gonna get an ass quarterback. So call him in for the meeting last night and nothing materialized out of it. I was going to make a video on it. I was waiting, but nothing ever came out of it. They said he met with the Dolphins, he left without a deal, and that's all we knew. So then we come back, fast forward to today, and Teddy Bridgewater is finalizing the deal to stay with the Saints rather than sign with us. We offered him one last offer yesterday, and obviously he turned it down. Now, the reason why this makes me so sad is because Teddy Bridgewater literally is from Miami, lives in Miami, loves Miami, but don't want to play for us. I mean, it's bad. He would rather sit on the pine behind Drew Brees rather than play for the Miami Dolphins. All right. To me, that is just incredible and just an indication of just how bad it has got, y'all. It's really bad. Now, Teddy Bridgewater is good, but I'm not going to sit up here and act like he was better than what he actually was. He was good. I think he would have been a good player. Was he going to be the saving grace of the Miami Dolphins? I doubt it. I mean, I would hope so. You know what I'm saying? I was going to root for him because people would say, oh, he was just going to be a bridge quarterback. But at 26 years old, he could have possibly been a future quarterback if he came in to actually perform. But either way, man, I really kind of did want Teddy Bridgewater, and I'm disappointed that he's not coming to the Dolphins. If you look at the options now with the Dolphins, like, I think it's Ryan Fitzpatrick. It's a couple of really bad quarterbacks, honestly. I mean, it's just a bad options now left that's available right now. Now, I don't know exactly what's the number the Dolphins that offered him. I know it was the first offer, I think it was like 2-year, $10 million. He turned that down. I don't know what's the second one they offered him. I don't know what the Saints are paying him to be a backup. But it's just rough, you know what I'm saying? I honestly don't know what is going on with the Dolphins quarterback situation. I have no clue, y'all. It's almost like I really hope I know. And you know, Tannehill, he makes way too much money right now, so there's no way he can stay on the team unless he restructures. But I'm thinking we're gonna get a new quarterback this whole offseason, and now I just don't know exactly what's going on. I don't know if it's just gonna be the Jake Rudolph versus the Luke Falk show. I don't know what it's gonna be, okay? Either way, it's just not looking too swell right now, y'all. It's not looking too swell. I kind of just feel offended by this move that Teddy Bridgewater chose to actually be a fucking backup in Rod Pine rather than play for the hometown Dolphins. That just makes me sick in my mind. Maybe we offered him something disrespectful. I don't know. I don't know. This really do feel like rock bottom, But you know, in this rebuilding process, the way that a lot of fans are looking at it and the way I'm looking at it is it's just gonna get worse before it gets better, okay, guys? And this is the bad part right now. Y'all can't lie and say that this shit looks good right now. None of this shit looks good. I'm just being honest. People want to say, oh, we're signing players at cheap contracts like the Patriots would do. Well, first of all, stop saying like the Patriots. We're not the fucking Patriots, number one. Number two, yeah, we're signing cheap players to cheap contracts, and the cheap players are okay? Eric Rowe is not good, so it's natural that he would sign a contract that was cheap. That just makes sense. That doesn't mean we did something good. We did something that made sense. And there's only a 1-year deal, so hell, even if he is good in his rebuilding season, guess what? We're gonna have to pay him a lot more next season. So that's just what it is. Now let's talk about the Robert Quinn situation, because this is also kind of puzzling to me. Looking at the tweet on the screen, y'all see Robert Quinn. The Dolphins had to make a decision today. Robert Quinn was due $1 million if he would have stayed on the roster this evening, right? He's due $1 million. But if we would have cut him, we would not have to have paid him. We would save $12 million, and we wouldn't have to even pay him the $1 million. Now, it is this evening, and Robert Quinn is still on the roster, which means he is already owed $1 million. Now, honestly, this just doesn't make any sense in a couple of regards. Number one is, I thought if we're rebuilding, right, and this is Robert Quinn's last season as a Miami Dolphin, why the fuck would we just not cut him, right? Because it's his last season, okay? And if he's good this season, we're going to have to pay him a lot of money, right? So, why would we not cut him? I mean, he is 28, 29, but like I said, why even keep him on the roster? Why not just save the $12.9 million if we're rebuilding and trying to save all this money? Now, it's clear to me that Robert Quinn is not the same player that he used to be, all right? He's not like he was with the Rams when he had 19 sacks in a season, okay? Is he terrible? I wouldn't go as far as saying call him awful, but he is like kind of one-dimensional, and I really don't like those type of players. I mean, I don't hate him, but the type of players where you can only have them in on pass rushing downs, the type of players that they can pass rush, but that's all they can do. Robert Quinn's not stopping nobody in the run game ever, so I just really don't understand this move. And then another thing, if we are moving to 3-4, like everybody say we're moving to 3-4, that means Robert Quinn is going to linebacker, right? If we do keep him. All right, and this doesn't mean we're going to keep him. We could still cut him technically, but now we're going to owe him $1 million if we cut him, which don't make sense when you could have cut him already and saved $1 million, right? I mean, if you care about money this much, that $1 million would be a big deal and you would have been cut him. But anyways, if we're switching to 3-4, like everybody's been telling me, right, or 3-3-5 or whatever, Robert Quinn going to linebacker. Most of Robert Quinn's production in his career, the production that got him the big contract that he has now gotten, came at a 4-3 defensive end position, not an outside linebacker position, right? So why the fuck would we pay him $12.9 million to be an outside linebacker when that's not what he's supposed to be? All right, I don't understand it. Now, last time he played outside linebacker was with the Rams, and he had 8.5 sacks. Last year at defensive end with us, he only had 6.5. So he did have 8 sacks, but that's far from his usual when he used to get 14 and 19 sacks a season. Okay. If somebody's getting 8 sacks or 6 sacks, that's not enough to me when you can't stop the run at all. You have to be getting a crazy amount of sacks to be worth it if you can't stop the run, period. So if we switch it to a 3-4, and then there was rumors that part of the reason why the Rams even traded him to us was, first of all, to free up some cap, but second of all, it was because they switched to a 3-4 under Wade Phillips, and he no longer really fit the scheme like he once did. So if we're switching to 3-4, it's no point in paying him because he's not going to fit the scheme, right? So I just don't understand why he's still on the roster. It's the only thing that kind of makes sense is that they're trying to trade him, but it's risky because now if you don't trade him, then you're gonna have to cut him. And yeah, if you cut him, you can still save the $11 million, but you just lost $1 million. So I guess you just burned $1 million for no reason. But I mean, in a grand scheme of things, people might say, "Oh, that $1 million is not that serious," but that $1 million could be used for something else. You know what I'm saying? So it just don't make sense why he's on the roster. It's puzzling. The only thing that makes sense is they're trying to trade him. But if they cannot trade him and nobody's willing to take his contract, and the fact that he's got to get paid next season too, then the shit was pretty pointless. Okay, it was a pointless thing. Now getting to the last topic of this video, Ryan Tannehill, ladies and gentlemen. Ryan Tannehill is still on the roster. I honestly, that's puzzling to me as well. Okay, guys. I kind of get it though, because it's something about if you cut him after June, you can save more money, but then it's going to go to next year's salary, which don't make sense. Why would we want to go to next year's salary? Why wouldn't we just want to go to this year's salary? So I don't know why Ryan Tannehill's on the roster. I don't know if they still trying to trade him as well. I guess, I don't fucking know. But Ryan Tannehill has become a laughingstock on Twitter from former Dolphins players today. If you guys have been on Twitter today, okay, there was a tweet that went out that said, Tannehill, we sort of get, but why is Robert Quinn still on the Dolphins roster? Now, Olivier Vernon responded to this tweet and said, sorry, sir, but what has Tannehill done compared to Robert Quinn? A solidified pass rusher that plays the right side. For the people that don't know, that's the best offensive tackles on the offensive line. Don't disrespect Quinn like that, sir. They're in different boats. So essentially what Vernon was saying was, Robert Quinn and Tannehill are on levels to this shit. There's levels to this shit. And Ryan Tannehill is not on Robert Quinn's level. Now, if you guys seen Robert Quinn's production last season, it wasn't no great level that Robert Quinn was playing at. So he's saying Tannehill is below that level. Now, y'all don't believe me when I say, Tannehill fans, check in. Y'all don't believe me when I say Tannehill is, sort of ass. But maybe if an actual NFL player will tell you that he's not even on Robert Quinn's level, maybe you guys will start to understand. Now, he did bring up a solid point, OV did, in this tweet when he said Robert Quinn plays the right side. That's something, guys, that I always knew, but I never even really put it in perspective like that. OV and Robert Quinn both play the right side. When you're dealing with the right side, you're always dealing with the left tackle. The left tackle obviously is the highest paid offensive lineman. He's guarding the quarterback's blind side. He's the best offensive lineman on the team, right? Essentially, that's what the left tackle is. So I didn't even look at it like that. So Robert Quinn getting 6 sacks on the left side versus say a Cameron Wake, okay, getting 7 or 8 sacks on the right side. On the right side, where he's going up against the right tackle who is not nearly as good. Honestly, Robert Quinn is more impressive in that fashion. Because imagine if Robert Quinn was on the left side going up against a lesser tackle. You know what I'm saying? So when I look at it from that perspective, I did gain a little bit more respect for Robert Quinn. Now, do I like him still? No, because he cannot stop the run, and I don't really like the one-dimensional stuff unless you're going to get double-digit sacks a game. I don't care who you're going up against. But it definitely gave me another perspective. Mike Wallace seen what was going on and chose to comment, laugh out loud. They had a quiet man talking. It's real out here. Jordan Phillips comments on it and says, y'all wonder where I got it from. And then you have former Dolphins cornerback Sean Smith, who lives in Miami, co-signing with OV says by saying preach. So these are 4 former Dolphins players on Twitter today decided to give their input on Ryan Tannehill. And it's really sad that people actually defend Tannehill to the point where NFL former teammates have to come out here and say, what has Ryan Tannehill done? Like, this is bad, y'all. This is bad. OV later said, the man has the most all-time leading pass I've ever seen in the business. Keep in mind, OV is on the Browns now. He's not even talking stuff about the fucking Giants, his last team. He haven't been on Miami in so long, and he's still taking time out of his day to throw shots at Ryan Tannehill. Now, and I just don't understand how sad it is to the point where we defend mediocrity so much to the point where we have NFL players literally having to respond to Dolphins fans telling us, like, are you serious? Like, what has Tannehill done? Like, we have NFL players literally laughing like it's just hilarious. I mean, we are the only team I think that would defend mediocrity this long. I swear we are. But it's what it is. I agree with the people. I agree with the NFL players. You know what I'm saying? To be quite honest, what has Tannehill done? That's what OB said. That's what I've been saying. You know what I'm saying? But maybe y'all listen to it if it's an NFL player. Anyways, guys, get in the comments. Let me know what you guys think about everything, the entire situation with the Miami Dolphins. Right now, guys, it's just looking like it's a rebuild. You know what I'm saying? And it's going to get worse before it gets better. But it's going to get better, okay? Hopefully. Get in the comment section. Let me know what you guys think. Like, comment, subscribe. Road to 8K the way. It's your boy K Flex, and I'm out.